Hey, welcome to another episode of the Review Lounge. I'm Jay.
I'm Jen.
And this week we are talking about Alita Battle Angel.
Yes, we are.
It is a cyberpunk, futuristic...
Dystopian?
Dystopian.
Dystopian. Tomato.
Right. And so basically, it takes place in the year 2563.
Whoa.
That's right. And it's 300 years after what is known as the Fall, or the Great War, within the story, which is basically, apparently human civilization developed, you know, with advances in technology, and eventually we had these floating cities, and apparently at some point we colonized Mars, and eventually, I guess, the people in Mars got pissed off or something like that. I don't know.
It's like everyone in the floating cities became yuppies.
Yes, and it became real,
it's like a floating
snooty.
Yuppieville.
Right, and the rest of society lives down on the ground.
And whoever wasn't yuppie worthy got tossed like trash.
But anyway,
Literally.
So 300 years before the movie picks up, there's the Fall, the Great War, as they call it, which is the which is I think the United Republics of Mars.
Correct.
Goes to war with Earth, and eventually they jack up all the floating cities, and there's only one left that doesn't get knocked down, okay? But during this war, all the people of the world that are left sort of conglomerate in Panama City, which is the city on the ground, and it's got Zalem, which is the one floating city that's above it, and the only floating city left on Earth. Right. Anyway, so we pick up the story where Dr. Ito he's a cyber surgeon, and he's scavenging through the junk pile junkyard that's created when they dump the trash from the floating city, and he comes across this sort of cyborg robot half body with a human brain.
Well, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for parts.
He's looking for parts.
Cyborg parts, things like that, and he comes across
this one, and he builds a body for it, which apparently in the manga, which this is based on, by, what's the guy's name who wrote it? Hiroto Kirisho?
I don't know. I'll look it up. Here. I have no idea. Yukito Kirisho. Kishiro.
Kishiro.
Thank you.
Kishiro.
Sorry about that.
So apparently, the doctor finds this body. The doctor had a daughter who had apparently passed away. They don't really go into that in the film. And he had been working on this robotic body for her, but she's no longer with us. So he sort of fixes this robot cyborg that he finds and attaches it to this body that he had created for his daughter. And he names this new said robot after his daughter, Alita. And that's where the movie picks up.
Yes.
And Alita has no memory of what she was or where she's from prior to waking up at the doctor's place after he's done the work on her. And that's where the movie picks up. So, what'd you think? What was your take on the movie?
Honestly, you wanted to see the movie more than I did. I'm really normally not into those types of apocalyptic cyborg movies. Huge sci-fi fan, but for whatever reason, I just didn't. If I watched this movie, fine. If not, fine. But I did watch it with you, and I actually liked it really much. Really much.
You liked it really much?
I loved it really much.
Nice. What were some of the things you liked about it? Give me a list of your high points.
My high points?
Yeah.
My high points
the things
are
you liked about the film.
she came across as a strong character. Not because she was a female, but because it was just a strong character. And as the movie went on, her character developed. And you think this battle angel is all gung ho, and she is. She kicks some good ass in this movie, but it's not all about that. And in the end, try as she might, she doesn't save the day.
Right.
And I like that part, because not all films are made to have happy endings.
Right.
Even though for whatever reason people seem to think that every movie that comes out should have one, this one does not.
Right.
And that's what I like about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I wanted to see it, one, because I had been looking for some new sci-fi. I mean, it seems like lately Hollywood's stuck in the reboot, reimagining, redo like phase. So I was looking forward to it because it was nice to see that there was a new story, something original. Now I know it's based on a manga that was created in the 90s, but you know, not being into manga, not being an anime sort of person, it was new to me, and I was looking forward to it because it was new sci-fi.
Right.
And I gotta say, I wasn't let down. I liked it. I like her character. Her character is a very well thought out, very well fleshed out character, no pun intended. Well, she's a robot,
I know.
cyborg, so
lots of flushing
yes.
in this film.
But I thought the character was very well written, as opposed to a lot of the other strong female lead characters that Hollywood's been pumping out lately. This one was done well. Like, I like that while some people may say that the movie did have some sort of subtext and there were some sort of overall messages, it wasn't like in your face.
No, it wasn't at all.
Like, if you looked for it, it was there. You know, there was enough there about, you know, class relations, you know, with the people in Zalem, the floating city above, and the lower class people that all had to live on the ground below. You know, there was that element there, but it wasn't in your face.
Right.
Like, you could just get caught up in the story, and there was no like, hey, here's our agenda. You
in
know
every
what I mean?
scene.
Right, and that's what I liked about it. And it was just really good, and I liked the character. Like, I like how they sort of gave her, like, her thing was wanting to be more human. She knew she wasn't human. She knows that she has this cyborg thing, and eventually in the film she finds out a little bit of where she's come from, what she is, and so on and so forth. But she still wanted to have this human aspect to her.
Right.
She had emotions. She meets this young man who works for Dr. Ito. You know, he's gathers
On
up
the side,
parts, and
you
and
know.
he's kind of got a little sketchy background, sort of
Under
like
the table stuff.
sort of like your good-hearted bad boy, you know, type character.
Human.
Right, and he's completely human. His name is Hugo. And she falls for him. And literally at one point in the movie, literally offers her heart to him.
Literally.
Yeah.
She takes it out and says, here.
Right. And, you know, and she's aware of the fact, you know, because she asks him, because, you know, he kind of, his reaction to that was like, whoa, you know, and she asks him, like.
And that's the point where you know that he loves her, because in the scene prior to that, they're like, a heart of one of these things
will set you for life.
is several $1,000s.
Yes, you could sell it and it would set you for life.
And it would set him for life. And all he wanted to do
was go up to
the
Zalem.
city. Yeah.
And when she offered her heart and said, hey, you can sell this, which I thought in and of itself was a well done sort of metaphor. You have this young girl offering her heart to a guy, knowing that he will sell it. So to get his lifelong dreams, and he doesn't, because he cares more about her, you know.
Okay.
And even though, you know, she acknowledges that, you know, because she initially asks him, you know, does it bother you that I'm not human, you know. They sort of, that becomes a secondary, that, you know, the connection was already there, whether or not, you know, she was fully human or not, you know, there was already something between them. So I just liked that aspect. It was something new. It was fresh. It wasn't the same old, same old.
Right.
And that's what I really liked about it. You know, Jennifer Connelly's in it, and she plays
Dr. Cheerin.
Dr. Cheerin, who is Dr. Ito's ex-wife, who now works for these guys.
Nova.
Yeah, this guy Nova, who's like the sort of unseen bad guy, although you do see him right
Who's
at the
up in
end,
the city.
who's up in Zalem running things.
She's got a heart, though.
She has a heart, because at the last
hides
minute, she does that turn where you would have assumed her character up to that point would have done the wrong thing, but she winds up doing the right thing.
Right.
And I just thought it was done really well. It was just one of those movies that.
Every character, I didn't have a problem with any of the characters.
No,
really.
neither did I.
I think they were all very well written. They all gelled together perfectly in the right moments.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
I would agree with
there were
that.
no lags in the characters. There were no lags in the scenes. There were no characters that you had trouble understanding.
Right.
You know what their motives are.
Right.
You know, and that kind of thing. And I think, like you said, it was very well written.
It was very well written.
Script, yeah.
And the visual effects in it were just top notch.
Ass, man.
Top notch. Well, it was Weta Digital, the guys who did the Lord of the Rings effects. They did the effects for this. And who is it? Rosie Salazar
Yes.
does the voice
of Alita.
acting of Alita, and she also did the motion capture.
Yes.
So, you know, like, and it comes through. You can see it. You kind of, you know, if you know who Rosie Salazar is, you know, you can see her performance in this, and that I thought that was done really well. It made the character of Alita as if you were just watching another actor doing it. You know, it wasn't like, oh, like this is that CG character. You know, it was just like when she was sad, you felt sad. You know, when she was happy, you felt happy for her. You know, so I just thought it was a really good film, really good film.
I don't think she was an unusual looking cyborg. I mean, you see several other cyborgs in the film, none of which have her features,
True.
which I thought was very uniquely done, because it made her stand out, but it didn't make her stand out in a way that was overbearing.
Right.
You know, it was you know, she had the
larger than
It reminds me
life
of
eyes.
those dolls from the 70s, or those paintings from the 70s
Oh,
with
yes,
the
with
kids with the big eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Kind of thing, and it fit with her.
Yes, it did. It did.
You know what I mean? I mean, it made her look like this doll baby, like a porcelain doll, innocent and that kind of thing. But in reality, she had those tendencies. She's a girl.
Right.
You know, she had those emotions. But at the same time,
She was a killing machine.
she's a killing machine.
That was her purpose. That's what she was designed for.
Yeah.
Was to be a fighting machine.
Yeah.
But she sort of, like you said,
When she was trashed, she just lost all of that
she
memory.
she lost all of that, so she was like starting fresh.
I think she was obsolete up there.
Maybe up there she was obsolete, although
Because all the battles and things that she remembered that she fought in were like 300 or some years
300 years
before.
prior. Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe she just became obsolete up there and they just got rid of her. They pulled her chips.
I don't know, but
You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, either way, she kicks ass.
She does.
She does kick ass in this movie. She
does.
And I like. This is another one of those movies, and we spoke about this in one of our previous episodes about when Hollywood goes woke.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of those movies where the lead character is a strong, well-written, well-developed female character in the same class as Ellen Ripley, in the same class
Tastefully done.
as you know, Katniss Everdeen, you know, or the Bride from Kill Bill, where they didn't have to put it in your face. You were just like, okay,
Yeah, Brie.
yeah. Snorting hoe.
I just tell it like it is.
And I like that they didn't have to beat you over the head with that. You just kind of like, here's this character. I'm following this character's stories.
No snarky comments in the
No
movies.
snarky comments about how I'm a woman, I could do it better or anything like that.
A woman can do a man's job.
Nope, it was
Bullshit.
just like, hey, I'm a cyborg. I may look like a female, but I am a 100% killing machine.
That's it.
End of story. You know.
No rubbing it in your face. No snarky comments.
No. And despite, recently there's been some, I know The Independent put out an article where they are sort of referring to fans of Alita as being members of the alt-right and stuff like that. And I just want to say to The Independent, and I believe the author of said article was Mr. Andy White, you're a douchebag and you're a fucking douchebag. We liked Alita for every non-political reason you could possibly think of. It was a good movie, it was well written, the effects were fun to watch, you liked the characters, you liked the actors, you liked the script, the writing and stuff like that. At no point ever did politics come into it. And in case you're wondering, the reason why people prefer, at least the people I know, prefer Alita over Captain Marvel, was because Alita didn't beat you over the head with politics. No, so now if that makes me alt-right, then so be it. Whatever. Call me what you want. I don't care. I've been called a lot worse by a lot better. So, but yeah, we liked it for every reason but politics. Like, politics never entered the equation. It was just a good movie. It was good sci-fi. It was an original, something original, which Hollywood seems to be lacking in nowadays.
And I'll tell you honestly, because we had discussed this whole Brie Larson thing and the comparison between the two movies, and mentioned that right before we started watching it. And the whole time I watched the film, not one time did I think, this isn't even remotely comparable to anything Captain Marvel or Brie or
there was
nothing.
There was
whatsoever.
none of the toxic femininity that you're getting in a lot of these other movies, like in the Captain Marvel or the upcoming Terminator Dark Fate or the Batwoman from CW. This toxic femininity that they're putting out there. None of that was here. It was just good movie.
Yeah.
So that's our take on it. But overall scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
Oh geez, I'd give it a solid 8.
Solid 8?
I'd give it a solid 8.
I'd give it. Yeah, I'm going to go with an 8. I think we're in agreement on this one. I'd give it an 8. The writing was good. The effects were good.
Everything was good about
it.
I just liked the fact that it stayed human.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that she was a cyborg, it stayed human. No politics of any kind involved in any of the film whatsoever.
Nope.
And contrary to all of the happy endings, this one didn't have one.
Although they did set it up for a sequel.
They did set it up for a sequel, but try as she might, she just couldn't get there. You know? And that's what I liked about it.
Well, I mean, just also to throw a little bit more information, the movie was written and produced by James Cameron.
Yes, it was.
It was directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Starred.
I love Cameron films.
Yes, starred Rosie Salazar,
Jennifer
Connelly. We have the whole list of actors here that are in it.
Oh yeah, Christopher Waltz, who was Dr. Ito.
Yep, was Dr. Ito.
Seen him in a lot of different stuff.
Yes, overall, I mean, I liked it on every
and a
front.
real evil Ed Norton.
Yes.
Who has like a 15-second cameo at the end.
Right, which is why I think they're setting you up for the sequel.
Which is the sequel,
right.
Yeah. Evil Ed.
Evil Ed.
I love Ed Norton.
Yeah, he's all right. I like him. He's cool.
He's good people.
He's good peeps. Yeah. Ed, if you're out there, give me a call. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one.
Yes.
So got a solid 8 from both of us.
Yes.
So we will check out some more stuff. We'll have some more episodes coming. There's enough information going on right now, so we may at some future point revisit the Hollywood woke thing, because there is so much stuff coming out right now. It's almost impossible to avoid it at this point.
It's ridiculous.
So we may touch on that again. But look for another episode from us real soon. And comment, like, subscribe. Or you can follow us on Twitter at review_lounge. Or you can...
The Book of Face.
Or the Book of Faces. You can find us on Facebook. And you can also email us directly at thereviewloungeshow@gmail.com. And so we will see you again soon. And we'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace.